Okay, so I finished half of the animation, or at least I'm through half of the comic, which, as far as view time, is probably past half because I spent a lot of screen time on certain events that certain events in the show that maybe didn't need it in the film. Um, I'm at like what 10, 11 minutes. It's a lot of time, more than I expected. And, whew, yeah, it was a fun process. Um, that's the biggest thing. It's a fun process. And for me, I already have the feeling of having completed it, but the power doesn't come with the feeling. And I feel sort of sad somehow. I think for so long I wanted to do some creative thing, and you kind of just at some point have to say, okay, I'm going to do X, and I'm going to follow it through. Otherwise, there's a certain stage where you haven't put that much work in. Oh, do I actually want to do it this way, or maybe I can do it this way, or maybe I can do it that way, or whatever. And also sometimes some early failures can make you feel like, oh, maybe I'd be good at it already if I just did it a different way, if I just used some other method. You know, I went through, I made the pirates in the film. I made the pirates, and then I actually remade them because the first models just didn't look that good to me. Yeah, it was a lot of work. But I think mostly the point I needed to get to was realizing, like, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't. You make something, it looks decent, you know. Basically, my rule became it shouldn't look like complete shit. And of course, my definition of complete shit is pretty. It's almost kind of narrow because like there's some parts of the film I have now where the walk cycles are pretty wonky. There's one 3-second part where I just forgot to put in the walk cycle. And so the character's just sliding across the floor, but I think I'm just gonna leave it in because yeah, it would just be annoying to try and fix that. I also didn't keep the file nice and easy to edit. I made it I made it I did a lot of things. I worked destructively. I'm not gonna do that again in that way. So, I wasn't careful about the keyframes, basically. So, it wouldn't be that easy to go back and fix it. But now I can fix it. There's a lot of easy things that you just have to remember to do it. And if you don't remember to do it, it'll cause some issue. So, there's that, I will say, just being messy about it and then improving. I feel for myself I had to do it in a messy way so that then I could be in the habit of it and then just make tweaks as I go. I could just course correct. But if I'm trying to think ahead, there's no course to correct. So it's all just like it's all like all the improvements I would want to make would be speculative, and so I went down a lot of rabbit holes of, I didn't spend a lot of time in rabbit holes, but I tried to do geometry nodes for a few things, just very simple, and yeah, Like there's add-ons I won't even, or yeah, there's resources that really you'd think they ought to be helpful, but I'm not even going to bother to get them because I don't want to mess with particle systems or geometry nodes or things like that. I don't know. Certainly not right now. I don't want to mess with those things. But also, if I wanted to make, like, say a fire. Well, I already made a fire. I just put on displace modifier. Anyways, yeah, there's so many, like, really easy ways to do things. The other thing is a lot of people like procedural materials. I really prefer texture-based, or just, you know, just a plain color. You know, mixing some colors in some ways. I guess it's still procedural, but yeah, for a lot of patterns, I do textures. Well, I mean, of course, for patterns you do textures, but I mean, you know, like if some things I would probably just trying to think, because you could do like a mix shader and then apply a texture, an image texture over the other texture. You could use that with a mix shader and then almost use that like a sticker. Yeah, I think one thing with Blender is it gives you so many like options. You have so many options when you're doing Blender that you don't really yeah, sometimes it can be hard to know where to start or what to do, but I've just ended up doing most things through meshes or just very simple ways. Yeah. I feel this early sense of accomplishment though, that like I finished it. I find it sort of hollow, and I knew it would be like this, and that's why I really wanted to make the process itself fun, because I've come to this point before. Like, usually I get the feeling before I'm actually finished, because in my head it's almost like I'm already finished. Like, half the work's been done, so it would be easier to finish it at this point, and I have less work ahead of me than behind me, basically. Interesting thing. But yeah, I'm gonna work more on it. It took about 3 months of work to get to this point. Right, 2.5 to 3 months. So, I was working at a speed of about 4 minutes produced per month. I think I can get that up because I know what I wasted a ton of time on, and still though I'm working faster than I thought. Especially because a lot of times there are weeks where I could only work like 2 days in the week. I didn't get much done. You know, I was thinking about maybe I can really focus on it, but I think really the opposite. Maybe I can do more ancillary things and just keep up my pace now. I probably just need to keep on my pace now because now that I've kind of gotten to the halfway point and I'm having these feelings about it, it's more important to just to just keep going, to keep momentum, not to try and like expand or something. But yeah, one thing is although I don't have voice acting, I don't think I want voice acting yet. Just visually, it's the film is striking. I hope I can get my friend Ollie to do the music still, but I think the score, as it were. So, yeah, exciting stuff. Also, just as far as like visual effects and things, I pretty much am already to the point where most things I would think of, I could theoretically do something that symbolically is like, yes, this is that thing. Like, you know, if I wanted to make a force field for someone, I could do it. If I wanted to make someone turn invisible, it wouldn't be that hard. You know, whatever. Geometry nodes can make things a lot more pretty and visually impressive. But, yeah. Doing something more simple and symbolic. Maybe someday I could get some help, and you know, someone who would know geometry nodes could do this or that. But yeah, I don't know. Have an effects person. Well, I still don't know what I'm gonna do with sound effects. I think that's so much its own science, and I have no idea where to start. And I think for me, wearing another hat is just I'm pretty good with the modeling and animating. Like, theoretically, modeling and animating should be done by different people as well. You know, I mean, I'm doing my own thing, right? But yeah. Probably in the future, what I would want to do, like if I could get real income for this sort of thing, is that I'd probably have someone do VFX, have someone do SFX, someone on music, and then I would probably just model a lot of things myself, and then I would do the storyboards, and then maybe have someone else animate. That's probably the way I divide it up in the future. And probably I could produce a 20-minute film, every 2 months, or maybe even a month and a half, every month and a half. Also, I could have someone to model like various backgrounds and things like that, just extra stuff. I could do that. I will say I get kind of bored just wearing one hat, but like music and sound effects especially is something that I don't want to touch because it's totally its own discipline, basically. Yeah, I asked Ollie if he could also do SFX, but he doesn't know much about it. So, you know, I expected to feel empty from all of this. I expected to finish it and be like, whatever. But yeah, that's just how I am. You know, I get some cool thing, I do some cool thing, and I'm like, you know. No, there's some downsides or something. I don't know. It's not even that. I just, well, of course now, since I started astral projecting like 5 years ago or something. No, like 7 years ago now. It just made life feel really boring because, of course, you can go anywhere and see anything, and there's a lot to see. But no, even as a kid, I was like this, like something new, and I'm just like, whatever. I just got to feeling like getting new things, having new experiences is kind of pointless because I don't really get anything out of it. But you know, now I'm in this. The funny thing is, when you stop going after new experiences and new things, you stop even getting the opportunity to get them. And now I'm in a scenario where, like, that sort of manifestation process is so stalled that now I'm just, yeah, I'm pretty stuck actually. So now I'm thinking like, okay, well, I don't really get anything out of it. I don't enjoy a lot. I mean, I enjoy the process of animating, but you know, the sense of accomplishment's like nothing to me. It's like air. I feel nothing, you know. Yeah, I wonder if that has some overlap with psychopathy. Probably does. But this yoga. Yeah, maybe the sense of accomplishment would be like Jupiter or something, and then Saturn is kind of contaminating that. That would be interesting. That's an interesting thing about. But yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't pursue things too much. Also, I think I have Venus retrograde. I think Venus retrograde means you sort of attract things to, and the more you chase things, the more you push them away. I think that's sort of my interpretation of it. That's what I've sort of gotten looking at my chart. Because, of course, Venus is manifestation. So, I've seen that in my life where, see, it's this really weird thing where, like, if I try to reach for things or to go after things, it does seem to just sort of impoverish me more on an energetic level, with planetary energies and things. I've had that experience all my life, but I'm speculating now on the astrology of why that might be, but then at the same, the thing is I can bypass it with work, with working through things, and producing something. So I'm not manifesting something pre-made somewhere else. I'm producing something new myself. Because my Jupiter and Saturn and some other planets are pretty good. Yeah. So, thinking about that, especially my Saturn. So, working to produce things. Yeah, I think that I just have to keep doing that sort of thing. Plus, I have, I have Rahu in my 6th house of work. So I think that creates a scenario where I'm constantly producing, and I just always want to. And I figured this out that I always felt sort of persecuted that other people were like constantly expecting me to do this or that. But I think it was actually, people were picking up on the fact that I can't really sit still. I can't go too long without having something to do, or I get really aggressively bored. So I basically can't relax. Or, yeah, I don't relax, but I'll sleep half the day. You know what I mean? It's really messed up, I guess. Yeah. So at this point, I'm kind of grateful that I've had so many adverse scenarios, because if I would have been, more, if I would have had more, like, let's say privilege, or, if I would have had more resources in this way, I think I would have just totally squandered them. I think I wouldn't have known how to, well, I guess I didn't know how to work with the opportunities I had, and so I lost them. Not that there's much chance of me making a lot of headway in the past. I also really just did not like people and where I was from. I mean, I didn't hate them. I didn't dislike them per se. I had no liking for them. And I think one thing with wealth is if you don't have liking for people, the people around you, wealth is produced by relationships. Um, wealth is a very relational thing. Maybe not for everyone, but yeah, I think if it's not coming from your friendships, it's coming from your adversaries. It's coming from adversarial relationships. Well, some people can do that, but still, it's still relationships. Yeah, I don't know. Just being in some middle of nowhere, midwestern place where everyone is. Yeah, I felt that they were very delusional. I felt that, really extreme political opinions, and yeah, maybe that's just what I was around. I don't know. I also don't like small town mentality that much. I don't have anything against such people. I just don't like being there. I like being more like, in the city or something. Yeah. I think I think straight up not liking where I was from has a lot to do with why I'm set back so much. But I think about it too. Like, I thought about moving to Arizona at one point, and I was like, I have family over there, but yeah, I don't know. I'm glad it didn't work out. I don't know. It's really hot. Everything is like, it's so heavily capitalistic. Like, absolutely everything is pay to play, and yeah, I don't know. I'd rather go somewhere and just not have such an expectation to pay something.